What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and like Rick Ross says, last request, can all producers please get paid? For those that don't know what's going on, Chance the Rapper just recently got accused of not paying producers. And the producers that called him out were the Justice League, highly renowned. They've been in the game for a while, and they recently called him out on Twitter and said that Chance the Rapper hasn't paid them for some songs that he put out on SoundCloud a long time ago. Now, what sparked this is that SoundCloud was rumored to be shut down because of insufficient funds. And Chance the Rapper came out of nowhere and said, I'll save them, I'll take care of the situation. And then basically a few hours later, SoundCloud ended up tweeting, we're doing good, we're fine, we're going to stay up, we're not going to shut down. And then Justice League tweets, of course Chance wants to save the free music business model. That's how he got on, by not paying. They continued the series of tweets, and the next tweet they said, the thing is, Chance the Rapper normalized the free business model. Don't pay or pay minimal for creation, post on SoundCloud, and not pay royalties. Then they said, definitely going to hear from Chance the Rapper's manager/lawyer this week after these tweets so they can try and weasel their way out of paying again. Chance the Rapper is now the big evil corporation taking advantage of the little guy pulling charity stunts under the guise of God. Everybody we helped on their way up gave us hit records, but we can't get one penny from homie, not even a thanks. Is that right and just? And then he says, just spoke with the man of God, Chance the Rapper. He told us to sue or pull up on him for the money he owes us. And then Chance responded, he said, that part is true, but the money I owe you, I paid to the actual producer who is suing you currently to get out of the slave deal. Now, we don't know who's telling the true side of the story, and that's not what I'm here to discuss. What I'm here to discuss is what Chance has done by releasing free music as a business model. Is that great for music? Not the business portion of the music industry, but just for the music. Is that such a great idea to give motivation to up-and-coming artists to say that if you release free music, you can eventually make money off of touring and just release your projects for free? Because Chance has never released a project where you had to pay money to get. Now, why am I asking this question? Well, recently I was watching a bunch of Jimmy Iovine interviews while he was promoting the Defiant Ones. And if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. It's a great documentary. And in one of the interviews, Jimmy Iovine said, it's a bad idea to make artists think that they're not making any money from their music and they're only making money from merchandising and touring, because it makes the music quality a lot worse. And how he explained this was that back in the 80s, artists would sort of take time off from touring, take time off from promotion and things that was making money outside of music, and they would take 2 to 3 years to make an album. And in those 2 to 3 years, they wouldn't get distracted by anything, because they knew if they released the album, they would make money off the album. It would be, another source of income. But nowadays, everyone's giving out free music, and the model, or sort of the mindset, is that you're not getting paid off music anymore. And that sort of distracts the artist from creating a great project. He said there are only a few artists that really take out time, 2 to 3 years to 4 years, to release a project. And that's true. I would say about 90% of artists do not take a break, and they don't really take time to make an album, produce an album, and make quality content. They just release fast food music, hope they can, tour off of it, and then repeat the process over and over again. Jimmy Iovine said he only noticed like Adele, Ed Sheeran, and a few artists that really take out time to work on their craft. Now, what Jimmy Iovine said was that example is that an artist would work on an album for like 6 months, and then someone would call them and be like, hey, if you want to come to Dubai, we'll give you $250,000 to perform right now. Now, is the artist really going to sit there, work on his album, something that he supposedly isn't going to get paid a lot for, or take that $250,000? And that sort of distracts from the artist's creative mode. If you're an artist, you want to get in a mode where you're creating, where you don't want to get distracted, work on an album for 2 to 3 years, sort of focus in, have tunnel vision. But in today's time, the message is that you're not getting paid for music. So whenever somebody calls them and is like, hey, I'll give you $250,000 to come here and perform, they're going to stop creating what they're doing, go perform, come back, and it sort of ruins the, creative juices and the flow. And I feel like that's why we're not getting great cohesive albums with tracks that mesh together well anymore. We're just getting albums with a bunch of hit singles on it, or just singles in general. People aren't even releasing albums sometimes. They're just dropping singles and hoping to get hits. Now, with what Chance has done is that he's been succeeding off of just giving free music. He's never released an album where we can pay for it. And it's obviously going to motivate other artists, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, free music isn't bad for the consumer. Like for me and you, the average listener, that's great. We're getting free stuff. We don't have to pay for anything. Obviously, free is better than having to pay for anything. But it's taken away from the art and making it worse, less motivated. Some artists, though, they don't need money to get motivated, but they need, money definitely helps. It releases stress from them from focusing on bills and all the other shit. So I don't know. I feel like I'm willing to pay for, music. Even if a streaming service is $20, I'm willing to pay as long as the artist gets paid, the producers get paid, everyone gets paid a good amount of money. And I'm not blaming Chance the Rapper solely, but he's had the most success off just releasing free music. So obviously he's going to be the main topic here. But other artists have released free music and eventually released an album, have sold good. So it's a great business model if you're looking to release music that you want to sell later on. And free music is another problem because, like in this situation, producers aren't getting paid. And we can make the argument that producers are what make the track hot. A lot of the times, 90% of the time, if it wasn't for the producer, the track wouldn't be shit. A lot of the beats, instrumentals that are used is what gets the attention of the listener. And that's just facts. So if producers aren't getting paid and artists are just relying on tour money, this is a bad business model. And eventually all this shit's going to crash and it's not going to work. So people got to find a way to make money off their music still. So that way, not only does the music get better, but, producers end up getting paid and everything just goes well. With all this being said, I definitely want to know what you guys think. First, would you guys be willing to pay $20 a month for a streaming service, knowing that it would get the artists paid, it would get the producers paid, everyone would get a fair cut of money, and possibly the music would get better over time because artists wouldn't be fed this idea of they're not getting paid off their music anymore. So that's the first one. The second one is, do you guys like this free business music model? And do you guys think it's hurting the creativity in terms of music? So leave a comment below. Like, share, and definitely subscribe. I do hip-hop videos weekly from people who change the music industry to beefs to news like this and much more. So definitely subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Like me on Facebook. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.